Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Zakaria Allah. All right, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. And before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Wakaha Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. All right? And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. All right, I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Shalom, wakasadyam, wabarakim. All right, peace, mercies, and blessings. Okay. And so I'm going to jump into this lesson dealing with the woman, okay? Specifically, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, all right? You women of the tribes, all right? Because you're my one and only priority, okay? But this message also, in a broader sense, goes out to every woman, all right? Here in Babylon the Great, man, you know what I'm saying? Because the time for you being strong and independent and rebellious and this and that, and I don't need no man, and who's gonna check me, boo, and I ain't gotta hit, I ain't gotta listen to no nigga. Those days is gone, man. Those days are leaving. Okay? Those days are leaving. And you've had your chance. Majority of you are not going to make it through this. And the rest of you that actually do make it through this, guess what's going to protect you? Guess what it is going to be protecting you? It's going to be a man. Okay? So, I got a number of videos that I want to share with y'all. But before I do that, all right, I want to get this precept first. All right, to segue into these videos. All right, real quick. All right, bear with me, Akim, bear with me. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 22. It reads, "How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. A woman shall compass a man." All right, so for the past decade for the past decade or so, all right, you women have compassed men, okay, through the help of Esau, Edom, all right, through the help of this devil, you have surpassed men, okay, in terms of many different ways, you know what I'm saying? For example, all right, you're in the legal system now. You're able to be a judge over others. Okay? You had your own house. You had your own car, your own businesses. All right? So on and so forth. You've compassed the men. You know what I'm saying? The so-called men of the tribes, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, so-called. You know what I'm saying? All right? the men of the tribes, you have compassed us. You see? The problem is you allowed the enemy to trick you into thinking that that was a good thing. You allowed the enemy to deceive you into believing that that was the position that you needed to be in. And here we are, all right. Now that you have all this prominence, you know what I'm saying, in terms of, you know, making money, all right, having better jobs, better, you know, more degrees and all that good stuff. You find yourself, you know, drifting further and further. You have found yourself throughout these decades drifting ever further away from womanhood, from femininity, from being soft, from being delicate, all the things that make you a woman. You see what I'm saying? And all you have been is bitter, lonely, tired. You're looking at your friends maybe getting married. You're looking at your own life. You may not have children, but you spent your time, your energy, your life, you know what I'm saying, searching for a higher degree. Why? Because the serpent told you so. The serpent told you to do that you have to do that. And the worst thing for you would be to submit yourself under a man. That would be like slavery. You see what I'm saying? That's what you were, you know, that's what you were taught. But now, as Esau's his whole kingdom is falling apart. All right. He's pretty much cutting off the dead weight. And that's you. That's you. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians. You women, they're cutting you off. Especially you so-called black women. He's cutting y'all off. Okay? And he's showing you that he never had your best interest at heart. All right? You were a means to an end. And you performed your job. You performed your assignment very well. Okay? You were set up to make sure that the family structure would be demolished. You were set up to make sure that the men would be sent out of the home. You see what I'm saying? A lot of women like to say, "Oh, men leave," and whatnot, but seldom do they ever tell you why they leave. Rarely do you see a woman actually go through that level of retrospection. You know what I'm saying? Just going back and reflecting on the things that she's done and taking accountability for them. You see? And so now the time has come where, since you have painted yourselves into a corner, all right, now there's nothing but wolves that's boxing you in. Okay, and Esau is about to close the door. He's closing the door on you, and he's about to lock you in. And where's your protection? You see? Where's your protection? He taught you throughout the generations, okay, just roughly shy about 70 years. He taught you to despise your protection. He taught you to disrespect your protection. He taught you, all right, he taught you to disregard your protection and belittle your protection. That's what he taught you. You see? And these devils are crafty and they're cunning. Let's get this in the book of Proverbs. This is Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 24. It says, "He that hateth dissembleth with his lips." And these Edomites, all right, these devils hate you. They hate us as a whole. You see what I'm saying? Most importantly, they hate the men. But they knew that they couldn't get to the men. That's why they used you. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. And he deceived you all. Verse 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not. For there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. And now is time for the purge. And you women are about to feel it. Check this out.
The Department of Education has now come out with the list of degrees that they are saying will no longer be considered professional. And this list will take effect July of 2026. Some of the degrees that they said are no longer professional include a physical therapist, an occupational therapist, advanced nurse practitioner, nurse practitioners, a physician assistant, teachers, a speech language pathologist, and there's more. But when I saw this again, I couldn't believe it. Because what does that mean on the back end? On the back end, that means that they are attacking female-dominant fields. That's a major blow right there. And secondly, people that are interested in those specific degrees will have a lesser chance in getting the federal funding that they need to get in those programs. And people voted for this. It's becoming to the point where y'all did not take Project 2025 serious. And it's sad.
And this is where Keisha gets it wrong. All right, this is where a lot of you get it wrong. Okay? The plan was always underway. Either it had been Trump or it had been Kamala. The whole plan was always to make sure that you would be boxed in to this corner. You see what I'm saying? And now you're looking around and the men are no longer around you. The men are no longer there. You see what I'm saying? Men are no longer coming to these dating events. Men are no longer marrying you. Okay? They have taught you to make yourself so unattractive to men. All right? And they put it in your minds that there's got to be something wrong with the men and not you. You see? And this is why the scriptures say what they say. This is Micah chapter 7 and verse 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it. Okay? You're going to see it, and you're seeing it now. But it's going to get so much worse. Hundreds of thousands of jobs have been lost, all right, to you so-called black women. You women have lost all these jobs, all these professions. No one's answering your calls. No one's receiving your resumes. While you're sitting home alone, you may have kids, 2, 3 kids, 4, 5 kids. You see what I'm saying? By how many baby daddies? You see what I'm saying? And you're empty inside. All right? Now you see it. You're starting to see it. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, Where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Let's get this real quick. Years ago, about 2 to 3 years ago, okay, about the man Kevin Samuels. All right. Before he died, which I truly believe that it was an assassination. They took him out. But before he passed, he said something very profound. He said, "Winter is coming." All right? He said, "Winter is coming." And he gave a little insight. All right? That the world around you is going to change. That a great reset is underway. You see? And he was attempting to help correct you women. Course correct you. Cause you to course correct, to fix your ways, to humble yourselves and to get it right. And when he passed, you women post a toast. All right? You danced on his grave, essentially. You see what I'm saying? So, what happened after he passed? And you showed yourselves to be just degenerates, and to disrespect a man, all right, who was no longer able to defend himself. What happened? The men took what you did, and they saw it. They saw it all. Okay? And that's what started the massive decline, okay, in male participation. So let's listen in.
Ladies, winter is coming. Winter is coming. Winter is coming, and when winter comes, it does not, and this is not just the winter. We are heading into what I'm going to call the long night. It's not going to just be 3 months. It's not going to just be 6 months. We're talking about a global reset for the world.
Right? And so, like I said, shortly after that, he passed. Okay? So, what we see now is the stage of what they've been planning. All right, it is now going into full swing. Okay, they're going into full swing with this. Now that they've used you, all right, they have used you to do what you needed to do. Okay, now they are discarding you. Like I said before, you know what I'm saying? When these Edomites use their tools, they break their tools. And I'm not the first one to say that. You know what I'm saying? There are others who said it. You know what I'm saying? But these Edomites are now breaking their tools. Okay? And you have been their most effective tool. You see what I'm saying? Now it's become viral again that you women, okay, many of you women desire the deletion of the men who would protect you. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see. Let's go to the book of Matthew. You know what? Let me get this here. All right, this is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 29. Let's start at verse 28. All right. It says, but if I cast out devils by the Spirit of the Most High, then the kingdom of the Most High is come unto you. Or else how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods? Here's the point. All right. Or else how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Okay. And like I said before, Esau, Edom knows, they know the truth. All right. They know the truth. They know they couldn't just up and take out the men. You know what I'm saying? So they had to get him at his Achilles heel, and the Achilles heel of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Indian man, all right, is his woman. The Israelite man's Achilles heel has always been his woman. You see? When they gave you government subsidies, when they gave you all these government handouts, when they gave you all these means to enroll in all these different universities, colleges, get these degrees. You see what I'm saying? When they rolled out the red carpet for you, gave you Section 8, gave you EBT. You see what I'm saying? What happened? You discarded the men. And so now Esau is able to come in and spoil the house. And throughout 4 to 5 decades, all right, he has been doing nothing but spoiling the house. The families are in disarray. You see what I'm saying? Millions upon millions of our own children were deleted in clinics at your hands. You see? So let's look at this other video. All right. All right. This is fair use. Fair use. I'm not making any money from this. Okay. This is all for educational purposes only. Now we're going to listen to this couple here. Okay. And they go into some topics, you know what I'm saying, some good topics regarding, the issues of relationships and such of that nature. All right. So now they're getting biblical with it. You know what I'm saying? Now they're getting biblical with it. And it lets you know that the words of the prophets have gone out to the four corners of the earth. Okay? As is written in the book of Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. You see? So check it out.
Ask a man, did the Bible predict women would be single and desperate?
Did the Bible predict what we are seeing today? Many, many women who are single and desperate not to be single.
Yes, the Bible did predict that.
Where?
You can find it in the Old Testament in the book of Isaiah, the prophet. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, which reads, "In that day, 7 women will take hold of one man and say, we will eat our own bread and provide our own clothing. Just let us be called by your name to take away our disgrace." And so, in other words, what that's saying is, Isaiah writing about a future time. Right?
In that day means in the future.
Right. In that day in the future, 7 women will take hold of one man, and they'll say, we'll eat our own. In other words, we'll provide our own food. We'll provide our own clothes. Just marry us. Let us take on your name to take away our disgrace or to take away our reproach. So women will wake up and realize, oh, we really should be married. And it's going to be a lot of women who will approach a relatively small number of men and will insist that's okay. Still, marry us and give us your name.
Well, so people who will hear this will say, so you're saying everybody needs to be married? I don't think everybody needs to be married.
That's not the view of the Bible. In other words, the view of the Bible is that God provides a protection and covering for women from their early part of their life to the late part of their life to the end of their life. In the early part of their life, when a woman's a girl, she is raised in the house of her father. Her father provides for her. He protects her. When a woman becomes of marriageable age, she marries a good man, and that man does what her father did. He provides for her, and he protects her and takes care of her needs, and he loves her. So
that's the ideal. That's how it's supposed to be. We know a lot of people don't have their father.
Right. And we live in an imperfect situation, unfortunately. But the intention, the idea from the God of the Bible is that women should never go uncovered, unprotected, unloved. And there's a way to get there. There's a way to do that. And the first is to live under the authority of your dad, and then when you're marriageable age, live with your husband and let him provide for you and protect you and cover you.
And that's the standard set by God, not us. We're not making this up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the God of this Bible. Yeah, and we didn't write the Bible. But, the more you read it, the more you understand it. And that's one of the things that's missing in our world right now.
And there are people who say, well, I want to be a wife. I'm looking for a man. It's the men out there. We can't find a good man. They don't want to be married. So that's why we're not married. It's them.
There's some so-called black pill guys who decide, to heck with all women. But most men would welcome marriage to an appropriate woman. Men have always wanted to be marry and be involved in marriage. Men have changed very little in the last couple of centuries. Women have changed a lot in the last 100 years. They changed a lot in the last 50 years. Feminism has told women that you do not need men. You do not want men.
You don't need marriage.
You don't need marriage, right?
You don't need motherhood.
Or motherhood, right? Or family, or family structure. So women turned their back on it. They turned away from it. Women are starting to have a change of heart, though. And you can see them on social media all day. Many middle-aged women are in videos. They're crying. They're lamenting. I'm ready for
women too.
They say, I'm ready for my person. I'm ready for my person. They're 50 years old, and they're ready for their person. So what's in Isaiah is actually happening. It's happening right now.
There are women who say, I have my own house. I have my own car. I provide for myself. I have money saved in the bank. I'm in shape. I'm beautiful. And I'm ready to be married.
Exactly. And this is how you know this is prophecy about today. There's never been a time, certainly not in Western civilization, but in world history really, where a woman had her own job, her own vehicle, her own money, until the 20th and 21st century. So this is about 21st century women.
This is predicting where we are right now.
Right. And these women in this prophecy realize that having all of that stuff is secondary. What's most important is to be covered by a loving man. And even if 7 women have to roll up on one guy to get that, they're willing to do that. And that's what this prophecy means.
And
I'm gonna let this continue on, and then I'm gonna get a couple precepts and expound on this.
You can say, I'm ready to be a wife. I'm ready. I have everything I need. I'm ready to be a wife. It's easy for you to say, it's not me. I'm not the problem. But you can't declare yourself ready and problem-free. A man has to look at you and say, I want her. You still have to be chosen. That's where y'all got pick me from. You have to be picked. Are you a wife?
Yeah, that's the question.
And that's the question. And that's the question. All right, that's the question to all you women. Are you a wife? You know what I'm saying? Are you a wife? You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say, who can find a virtuous woman? All right, who can find a virtuous woman, for her value is far above rubies? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get this here in the book of Isaiah chapter 32, verse 2. It says, And a man shall be in hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. All right. So, they were on the money. They were on the money with this, with bringing out this precept. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, they don't marry it with the 100% truth of the prophecies. Okay, because they're only going off of what's seen now. You see, they're only going off of what is now being seen. What they're not going off of is what the prophets are able to foresee. And the prophets are able to break down these prophecies. And what we, the prophets, foresee all right, is the catalyst that's going to bring about the prophecy of Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. So let's look at this word for catalyst. All right, catalyst. Catalyst. It says one that precipitates a process or event, especially without being involved in or changed by the circumstances. Something that serves as a precipitating occasion for an event. Okay, something or someone that causes events to happen with itself being changed. You see what I'm saying? All right, this definition, it says something or someone that encourages progress or change. Okay? So something big is going to change. Something big is going to cause a shift. Okay? Another definition says something that causes an important event to happen. Okay? And this is that important event. Okay? That important event is prophecy. Okay? Where Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1 comes into play. All right? So let's talk. So they did a good job in the initial point. All right, but we're going to get into that catalyst. We're going to get into the event that causes this, that brings about this shift in the woman's mind. You see what I'm saying? Because once this shift happens, all that feminism is gone. All that strong and independent and I don't need no man and niggas can't tell me shit, that's going to be gone after this event. The great humbling is coming. And what Kevin Samuels said was, winter is coming. And you women are just now beginning to understand what he meant, what the prophets have been telling you even before Kevin Samuels was on the scene. You're about to see it now. Let's get into it. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Let's start first in the King James Version. All right, and let's read Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Check this out in the NLT. It says, in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids. You see what I'm saying? Please pick us. Everybody's going to be a pick me in that day. Everyone's going to want to be picked by a man. Why? Because a man is going to be as a hiding place from the wind, from the tempest, from the chaos, from the destruction. This is that catalyst that we're talking about. That's going to bring about Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1, and all these simps out here who've been bucking up against that prophecy, and all these wicked ass Eves out here. You know what I'm saying? These Jezebel bitches out here. You know what I'm saying? Who still want to hold on to feminism with a head wrap on and fringes on a dress. You women are going to understand. You females are about to understand very soon. Let's get this in 2nd Esdras. Okay, because you can't just run with Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1, you know what I'm saying, and just leave it at that. You got to bring precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, to drive this point home. You see what I'm saying? Because only the elect women are going to understand this, is going to understand what's being said here. You see what I'm saying? Because you women are going to be all right, protected for a particular purpose. For a particular purpose. It's not so you can get a degree. It's not so you can get a job somewhere. It's not so you can be a judge and rule over men. No. No, you're gonna have a particular role. All right, a reason for being alive. You want to hear what that reason is? Yeah, let me show you what that reason is real quick. Yeah, hold on to your panties, man. All right. Let's see. This is 1 Timothy. All right, 1 Timothy. Let's go to chapter 2. And let's read let's start at verse 14. It says, "And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. She shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety." That's your job. That's what you're going to be saved for. You're going to be saved so that you can bring forth, all right, the heirs of the elect men. You see? That's what your role is. Your role is to bring about, all right, all the souls. First and foremost, those that will be lost here in the great destruction, the great cataclysm, when the nukes drop. You see what I'm saying? All those souls, you're going to bring them back. Our seed is going to be brought back through your womb. Okay? That's what you're going to be saved for. So, let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras. All right? And this is why nobody likes GMS. This is why nobody likes the prophets, you know what I'm saying? All right? Because we're not here to cuddle your feelings, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the last thing on our agenda. You know what I'm saying? You got this checklist box, this check box, you know what I'm saying, checked. This box check. Last thing on the list is people's feelings. You know what I'm saying? That's the last thing that's on our list. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. It says 2nd Esdras chapter 16. Let's go to verse. Let's go to verse. Let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 31. It says, "Even so, in those days, all right, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword." Okay? "And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough." Okay, imagine all your neighborhoods full of grass and full of foliage, because no one is able to mow the lawns, no one's able to clear the pathways. It's going to be so few men left. It says, "The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed." And wars are coming, man. Wars are coming. And all your men are going to be gone. You look at Ukraine. Look at Ukraine. There are no men left. You see? There's no men. What happens over here in America when there's no men? In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Let's jump up. Let's jump up. Verse 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit. Who shall gather them? So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. An excellent depiction of this is the movie I Am Legend with Will Smith. There was no one left. Verse 28. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. You see what I'm saying? You women are going to be in very, very serious trouble. Very serious trouble. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. You see what I'm saying? And that the teats, those pleasant fields, that fruitful vine, that's what? That's all the things that you relied in. Your degrees, your job, your corporate job. You know what I'm saying? Your house. You bought a nice house. You bought a nice car. You know what I'm saying? All right. Your child support. You see what I'm saying? There's so many good men that were placed on child support when they didn't deserve to be that. They didn't deserve to be there. I know. I've seen it. In my own family, I've seen it. How many of you are guilty of that? Putting a good man on child support, Title 4D. How many of you are guilty of that? How many of you are guilty for deleting your own offspring? The offspring of the man that you laid up with. How many of you are guilty of that? You see what I'm saying? If this is stabbing at you, well then that's the spirit talking to you, man. You see what I'm saying? You better repent. You better repent now. Because like I brought out in the last lesson, time is running out and time is not on your side, man. You women are about to be in terrible, terrible danger. You see what I'm saying? And the prophets will no longer be here. Get your act together. You better get yourself some act right quick. You see what I'm saying? Before it's too late. Let's go back to Isaiah 4:1. All right. Isaiah 4:1, and let's look at the commentary of this. All right. Check this out. So in that day, all right, Isaiah 4:1. Let's go back to it. Isaiah 4:1. All right, and I'm gonna get the commentary on this. And bear with me, I'm about to close it out. Gotta head to the gym anyway. Isaiah 4:1, it says, and in that day, all right, and in that day. So this phrase often refers to a future time of judgment or restoration in biblical prophecy. In Isaiah, that day frequently points to the day of the Lord a time when the Most High will intervene decisively in human history. It can indicate both immediate historical events and eschatological fulfillment. 7 women will take hold of 1 man. The number 7 often symbolizes completeness because it doesn't matter if it's 7. It says 7 women, but that can mean anything. It can be 3 women, it can be 15 women, it can be 20 women, it can be 100 women. You know what I'm saying? The number 7 often symbolizes completeness or perfection in the Bible. Here, it suggests a significant imbalance between men and women. It suggests a significant imbalance between men and women. All right? Through war, through famine, through pestilence, all these things are going to grip this place. And the men, all right, the men are going to be taken out. And you women are going to be targets. You women are going to be vulnerable with no protection. Police? Ain't going to be no police, man. No 911 to call. You see? Here it suggests a significant imbalance between men and women, likely due to the devastation of war, where many men have died. The scenario reflects a desperate situation where women seek security and social standing through marriage, even if it means sharing one husband. You see? Even if it means sharing one husband. And say, we will eat our own bread and provide our own clothes. All right? We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. This indicates a reversal of traditional marital roles, where a husband would typically provide for his wife. The women's willingness, the women, plural, the women's willingness to support themselves highlights their desperation to remove the stigma of being unmarried. It also reflects the economic hardship. What is coming? What is coming? A great crash. The markets are going to crash. The economy is going to crash. Money is going to mean nothing. Very soon. Chaos in the streets. This is what the prophets see. It also reflects the economic hardship and societal collapse following judgment. You see? So that's pretty much it, man. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. I know it dragged on longer than I was expecting, but you know what I'm saying? Got to drive the point home. Winter is coming. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, winter is here. We're in the beginning stage of Jacob's trouble. It's now hit. It is now hit, and you women are being cut off in every stage. You see what I'm saying? All right, all your avenues of safety and security are being cut off right in front of you. And when they took away your EBT, your SNAP benefits, when they took those away, that was just a stress test. That was a stress test. They're about to cut off the internet. They're about to do all that. You've seen the internet cut off. You see what I'm saying? You've seen these websites going down. It's going to get bad soon. Hey, man, 2026 is finna be it. It's finna be lit, man. It's going to be lit. Call Allah Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Ruchak Wadash. All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, whom I've grown in this truth under. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.